Welcome to Dani C's Love Life Lessons, where your presence is a blessing. So enjoy the session. This is the season finale, y'all. We made it through season 2. That came so fast. Thank you for all our supporters, everybody that watches us faithfully every Thursday, calls in. Like each season, we're just trying to get better and better. And what a way to close the show. I have this beautiful lady next to me. And without further ado, I must introduce Miss Tiffani Worldwide. Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh. Tell the people who you are and what you do, Miss Tiffani.
Well, thank you for that beautiful introduction. My name is Tiffani, last name Walker, and I'm a musician and other things. But right now we're here to talk about music and love and life.
And lessons, right? So, Tiffani, where are you from? We were just going to talk about that. And I was thinking, I was like, wait, is she from LA? Tell us where are you from?
Yes, I was born and raised Long Beach, California. Those are my stomping grounds.
Oh, Long Beach. Okay. Yes. And see, I'm from Inglewood, but I lived in Long Beach. Bigsby knows my mom bought a house there. So I went to school. I actually graduated from school in Long Beach. So I have family in Long Beach. Like that's like my second home. So I love Long Beach. Shout out to everybody from Long Beach. Now you said you're a musician, and that's funny because in my mind, that's why I had him set up the little drum roll, because I'm like, my girl is a bomb drummer. That is what she do. But there's other instruments that you play. When you say musician, that means you get down.
Well, in my in my field, I do play drums. That's my main instrument. I also do production as well. So
okay, but do you know how to play other instruments?
Not without the computer.
Okay. Well, hey, that's all right. Because nowadays you have all of these apps and all these different things that you do that, yeah, you can engineer, you can produce, you can do without actually physically playing. Correct. But put the stuff together. And I didn't even know that you produced as well. So that's really good. Yeah. And what type of music do you produce?
Right now I'm working on my own project. So it's a little bit of EDM, type of rave sounding world music.
World music. Okay, I like that. That hence the name Tiffani Worldwide. See, don't put her in no box. She is worldwide, baby. Okay. So what is your earliest memory of music? Like the youngest you could think of, what really just sticks out to you, like that's one of my earliest moments where I just got this love for music.
My earliest moment, I actually started off playing violin. So
nice.
String instruments kind of like is where I kind of like fell in love with music and the whole journey. But then I got like really intrigued with the drums for some reason, and that kind of just took over everything.
He was like, forget this violin. I'm getting ready to make some noise.
Exactly. So that's kind of where, and I think I was about, how old was I? Like 9 or 10.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Violin.
And so you were doing that in school, just, taking them. Okay. Okay. And then the drums, you just thought, you know what? I want to do the drums. And see, with this business that we are in, we do know it's male dominant, right? Yeah. Especially with drums, you normally think, oh, it's a guy back there. So for me, it's super dope that a woman is playing drums. Have you run into any discriminatory type situations, or people looking like, oh, she don't know how to play, and you gotta show them what you're working with?
I think in life that we all experience some type of discrimination in one field or the other. And yes, you always see a male dominating, the drums or, guitar, the bass. But, there are women out here that are doing it and killing it, as well. So
that's right.
Respect to the men, but us women are out here doing the same. So big major respect to all the women out here that are touring and playing and on gigs. And at the end of the day, we just all want it to be a even playing field. I think when it comes to any career, we just want to have that equal opportunity.
Right? We want to be respected, Absolutely. And so and I totally respect it. Who trained you in drums?
I did not go to school for music.
Wow. So
No.
that's a God-given talent. That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about.
Yes.
So you kind of like taught yourself?
Self-taught. I had many mentors that kind of like showed me the way in the path. And from there, I kind of just like honed in on my own skill and went from there. But yeah, I'm self-taught.
Now that is dope. I didn't know that. I thought you were gonna tell me like, oh yeah, we're taking all these classes, and then I went to school. I was trained by, and see, that's real God-given talent. You know, that's a blessing to be able to train yourself to like that. The only other person I know that does that kind of stuff who gets on my nerves is my husband. He can just teach himself how to do something. He doesn't, you know, he'll, if he has to watch YouTube or look at something, he'll study it for a couple of days and he's just on it. Like some people just have that type of, you know, talent. Me, I've always just been a talker. So I know how to, and I like to rhymes and write. So I would just do my poems and then that turned into rhyming. But like, I think it takes a special person to play an instrument. I'm what's the word? I have a short attention span. So for me, I know that that's too much practicing. That's like way too much practicing.
Yeah, there's hours and hours that go into, you know, the prep time of like any instrument or any field or career goal that you have in mind. There's hours of prep before you actually like hit the stage.
Yes.
You know,
yeah, you're right.
You need the preparation time to, you know, actually be like dominant in your field. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You should. And you're right. I had to learn that even with rhyming. I'm like, I'm dope. I could just go up there and do it. You don't realize you run out of breath. You get not stage fright, but sometimes I find myself I had to learn to look in the back of the room. You know how they kind of say, pretend everybody's naked so you don't get thrown off. Yeah. So I just started looking at not like focusing in on anyone directly because then I would like start messing up on my lines or getting flustered or something of that nature. But you know, it took Yogi to say, babe, you got to practice. You got to start rehearsing. Who you think you are? I'm like, well, I know my words, but it's deeper than that. Like, you know, hold the mic. Figure out how you're gonna stand, how you're gonna look. Are you gonna do a little shimmy or what you gonna, whatever it is you're gonna do? You want to practice it because you think you could come up with it off the cuff, but sometimes it's just not that easy.
Yes, that's very true.
Have you had anybody like really doubt your skills and you had to kind of like show them?
I mean, that's every day in life,
right?
People doubt you all the time,
right?
And you just have to remain true to yourself and who you are, who God called you to be, and your purpose. I mean, that really matters to me the most.
Yes,
because once you know you're in alignment with your gift and your talent and your skill, you know, it's always going to be some type of dart being thrown at you, but you just got to stay the course. So I've just learned I'm just at peace.
Right. And I can tell you so zen. I'm like, let me get like her because see, I be off the chain all the time about everything. And you know what I think it is too, you know, I was reading something earlier about in watching a video of one of the celebrities saying that, you know, with this internet thing, like it's kind of like don't read the comments. And I was like, really? What? And they're like, yeah, because you'll see about 10 positive ones, but then you keep going and then somebody saying something crazy and that one bad comment can like throw you off your game. But when you're centered and you're focused, like you said, and you are in your purpose, can't nobody knock you off your crown. You can knock your crown off, right? True. Or off your throne. And I like that about you. That's what, since I met you, you're so poised. And I like that. You're so respectful. You always look bomb. Like, I knew she was going to come in here killing it. I was like, okay, let me try to step my game up, right? She was like, no. She's like, this is every day. This is me. So you introduced yourself to the drums. Anybody in your family that really that is also musically inclined?
Yes, my father, he plays piano, and my mom, she sings. So I grew up in church.
Okay, I was gonna get there. I'm like, tell it, let me know something.
I grew up in church. My sister plays bass, and you know,
dope.
We grew up singing in church, in choirs and groups, and we kind of, I steered away from singing in groups and choirs, and just, you know, really got into the drums. But yeah, growing up, I grew up in church, singing in church. Even in high school, I did not play drums in high school.
Right.
I play drums after high school. So my journey for music and drums started later in life.
Wow.
Say what?
I did not start as a child playing drums.
Oh, wow. So do you
There's
still
no
like
pictures of me playing drums as a
Okay.
baby.
Okay, right. She was like, yeah, we didn't have no drum sets, but that's amazing. So you started off singing, and then was that like your thing? Were you really good? Or you just like, well, in church, you know how that is.
You know, you can hold a note, you know.
Right. But church don't care. Get over here, you sing.
Exactly. You're in the choir.
You're in the choir. Yeah. And especially when you're raised in the church, I think it more or less was, for our parents, it was more or less like, just want to keep us grounded in something and just being, it was like community, like family, like,
right.
We're all doing something. Somebody gonna pick up, and that's dope. You said your sister plays the bass. Somebody, and your mom, she's singing. Yeah. Does she still sing to this day?
She still sings.
Oh, that's great.
And my dad still plays.
Okay.
Piano and organ. So.
Okay. See, we need to do a little family tour. Okay.
Family.
Okay, let's do that. Speaking of tours, like, I know I put on there, I'm like, this is a celebrity drummer. She has done so many tours. How many different tours, and who have you played with and for?
Well, starting in, I want to say 2011 was my first kind of like introduction to, excuse me, the music industry.
Okay.
And that was like my first audition. I will never forget. What is his name? Andre 3000.
Ooh.
He was doing.
I love, okay.
Very talented.
Yes.
Skillful legend. He was doing an audition for, I think, his video shoot. Hey Now.
I love that song. I knew you were going to say that.
That is my first introduction. And of course, I always share like different stories, especially when I have the opportunity to speak to young people. I did not get that part in that video, but that was like my first opportunity to see how
it goes.
Work.
Yeah.
And then even up until, last year, there's stuff that I've auditioned for and did not, get the part.
Right.
But then along came, and I was just explaining this scenario to one of my colleagues. I auditioned for Beyonce back, I think, when she had 2 female drummers.
Okay.
Did not get it.
Okay.
But then the opportunity came up again, and I had the opportunity to audition for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then that's when I was just in alignment.
And it was it was your turn.
Yes.
And so that was with Beyonce when she did. Oh, that's
that
awesome.
was in 2016. So.
Wow. Yeah. And I said, I knew that she played for Beyonce, but that's good that you said, you don't always get it. And some people get discouraged, right? In this business, you can get discouraged. You're like, dang, I did my best. But you kept going. You kept pushing. And the fact that you said you talked to kids about that, that's amazing, because they need to know you're not going to get yeses everywhere you go. No. There are going to be some no's. Just use that as fuel to say, you know what? I'm going to work on my craft. Like we talked about practicing a little more. I'm going to get a little bit better. I'm going to figure this thing out. The next time she's not gonna pass on me. And what an opportunity at the Super Bowl. It was like a major event, right? Yes. Oh, that is so awesome. So has drumming taken you out of the country? Have you traveled?
So that was like 2016. And let me back up a little bit. So then 2011, 2012, I auditioned again to work with Tashina Arnold, and I was able to work with her band, and then currently work with her band up until now.
Oh, dope.
Yes. But that all started the journey path, if that makes sense.
Right. No, you're like, okay, I did this. And then now, but see, doing that opened the door where at least somebody knew who you are. You put yourself on the radar.
Correct.
Once you got to that Andre 2000, they're like, okay, she didn't get this one, but hey, I saw this girl somewhere. Correct. And so Tashina Arnold, which if you guys don't know, that's Gina from Martin. Hey, shout out to Tashina. Pam. I'm sorry. Did I say Gina? Pam. Damn, Gina. Yes, so that's super dope. And everybody knows that she's amazing, has a great voice, and her daughter even sings. So she's got a great voice too. I watched some of their little car rides. I think she does her little Instagram videos, and her daughter just be blowing. I'm like, wait, okay, it's in the family.
Absolutely.
And so you said currently, so you still like work with her.
Yes.
Okay. And so as a drummer, well, it's like you're freelance. So you're an independent contractor. You can work with whoever you want.
Yes.
And then have you ever run into people like, no, I want just you? And you're like, okay, well, let's talk numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That comes with, growing and, being in the industry and kind of just, setting your brand up for success to where you do have that pool,
Right.
And I'm grateful for the opportunity for that. So then during the course, then I worked with Bernadette Cooper and Climax.
Okay.
Climax. So I have worked with her
in the ladies'
room.
Exactly.
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Bernadette
dope. That's
Cooper.
iconic.
That's iconic. That's
right?
Like one of the first girl bands. Y'all can look it up.
Yeah, if you don't know Climax, see, these young kids, they probably don't know. See, I was born in the 80s, so I remember Climax and the videos and their wild hairstyles and the colors. Yes.
And Bernadette, she's amazing. Another great boss lady and diva and just a legend.
That is super dope.
So then after that, I'm just going down the wrong.
Keep going, girl.
So then after that, of course, still working, in the music here, then I did America's Got Talent. Okay. I also did, oh my God, it's so many other things. But then I received a call like 2019. Okay. This gentleman, he approached me in my DMs, not like that.
Okay. Right. Sometimes it's good DMs. Right.
It was all business. And he said, I work with Quincy Jones Productions. Okay. And I said, okay, and he was just like, well, Quincy has a club in Dubai and we want to put an all-female girl band together. So that is how I got connected with Quincy Jones Productions.
Oh, that is super dope.
Had the opportunity to actually work at his club in Dubai.
Oh, wow. Yes. And Dubai, I heard, is so beautiful. I missed the trip.
Is.
My besties went on the trip.
Amazing.
They said there's literally no trash on the street. Like, it's so clean. I'm like, I'm mad. I missed that. They like ate dinner in the sky. They did all these beautiful things. Mm-hmm. So how long was that, like a tour thing where you stayed a while?
Yeah, I was there for 3 months.
Wow. So you literally lived over there. Okay.
Yes.
How was that?
It had its ups and downs.
Right. You're like, I want some fried chicken. No, I'm kidding.
Right. No, the food is different. It's a cleaner like taste. So
okay.
Everything is more, to me, natural. It's not processed like.
Right. Well, it's better for you, which is good. Right. But we're so used to that junk.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was like, y'all got some Lorries up in here? Can I?
Right.
Got some Crisco. I want to fry this.
Exactly. Like towards the end, I was just like, oh, I'm ready.
Yeah. You get homesick and stuff like that, huh? Yeah. But it's good to have that experience. And these girls that they put the band together, you didn't know them prior to this, right?
I knew a couple of them, and one of them I didn't know. So we all got the chance to grow and learn and work together and, perform every night, like 6 nights a week.
Wow. That's dope. Yeah. I mean, just to have that Quincy Jones Productions on your resume, like, I bet you Beyonce wants you now. No. What's up, Andre 3000? No, just playing.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Don't get us in trouble.
Right, no, I'm just teasing. No, but that's really good. I mean, that you got that opportunity and to live over there. I mean, I know it's a culture shock. I mean, but it's a great experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Where else have you been?
So then after that, I came back and then the pandemic hit. So that I got back like, I think November of 2019. Then January, I just was working, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And doing like, of course, we were all shut in. The whole
couldn't do anything.
Go out,
doing shows.
And then, but I still kept up with music. I also worked with these dope producers, Biscuit and Butter. Shout out to them.
Okay. Yeah, Biscuit and Butter. I like the name alone. That's dope.
They're dope. If you have not checked them out, they're amazing. So I did like I'm trying to think of the word where you're doing live tapings, but it's like
in studio and then like kind of what we're doing now because you can't go outside.
Correct. So
like the Tiny Desk type
correct
deal. Okay.
So did a lot of that, and then Tiny Desk came up.
Oh, and I didn't even, I'm just speaking it up.
Tiny Desk came up in, I think it was 2021.
Right. When
So
they
we-
realized this COVID thing ain't going away, we
Right.
gotta create some stuff.
Right. So then I got the opportunity to, again, they hit me up, DM, and they DM the wrong person. But
Wow.
But the person got the message to me.
Which was nice.
Yes. Shout out to her.
Right. Because she's like, this is not me, but I know who you're talking
Correct.
about.
And
some people would be hating. So, that's
yes,
a blessing.
and that just shows you like the favor that you have with people when people, you know what I'm saying?
When
When
you're
they look
good.
out for you. So shout out to that person. I'm not gonna say no name.
Right.
But she looked out for me, and I got the call to do Rico Nasty.
Oh,
So-
Rico Nasty. I know who that is. That's pretty dope. That is really dope. The whole Tiny Desk thing, I think whoever came up with that was perfect because like I said, we were all shut in, trying to figure out things to do. If I was smart, I had been talking about this, but I would have done this then and it really would have probably taken off. But I was too busy doing everything else like usual. Life was lifing.
Right. Of course.
Right.
You know?
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we did the Tiny Desk.
So then, and backing up to 2018, again, got the call to do more film television work.
Okay.
And so I did All American.
Oh, yes. That's a good show. That's a very good show.
Watch it on Netflix.
Yes. Yes. They just killed my boy Tay Diggs off on that thing. I'm like, right.
It has gone through like a metamorphosis. Like I've seen it just grow and grow and grow. So there's a spinoff to that, which is All American Homecoming. So then last year I got the opportunity to do All American Homecoming, which is a spinoff from All American, if that makes sense. So it's like the college of the high school. Okay. So when you say you got an opportunity, so you're behind the scenes or you've been on set in one of the episodes? On set in their drumline.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay. I definitely got to check that out. I did not know that. That's one of my sister's favorite shows. So she's probably watching like All American. Let me go see what episode, girl. I watch them all, right?
Yes,
I'm a little late to the party. She's always telling me about some new shows. I'm like, girl, it's only 24 hours in a day. I can't remember what day and time all this stuff come on. Then I'm doing this. I'm trying to get red carpets. I'm busy. So I just have a lot of stuff like 100% almost on my DVR because I'm taping stuff, but I haven't gotten a chance to go and really look at everything and check it out. So that's really dope because that TV money is different, right?
Oh yeah.
That's a different type of thing. And the fact that you've been able to stay busy, because I know how it is. I'm an artist too. Like, this for us being a hip hop artist, it's a little different. You have a true skill. You don't have to be seen and you can get your money. People always gonna need a drummer. You know what I mean? Me, I'm on stage. They're like, oh, she's not thick enough. She too thick. She this, she that. Oh, your hair ain't long enough. You don't got no makeup on. I don't even know how to put on makeup. This is Vaseline and Max. I don't have a lot. Thank you. Absolutely. I try, but I'm like, man, I always say people that can do that, you'll always stay working. But like I said, the pandemic hit everybody. It changed a lot of things for because I would think like, oh no, we still have to watch TV, you still have to go, but even production slowed down.
Correct.
And I think that's when everybody got into all these apps like Netflix and people started just putting up shows like that, which I think it was like a good and a bad situation, right?
Correct.
You got an opportunity to people got creative because you had to really think outside the box if you can't go outside the box. You know
right.
We're stuck in the house.
Okay, how can I film this? Like or put together this type of show.
Right.
And then also just rebranding. I think a lot of people kind of just shut down, rebranded how they wanted to go forth. Even if they were, working in entertainment or whatever their business was, it's just like, how can it be accessible on the phone? If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Actually it does. That's kind of how I went with this. I mean, I would love to be in the studio on Channel 5, whatever, but I knew I had to make it make sense for me. And then this internet, even though I have a love-hate relationship with social media, it's a way to get your stuff out to people. It's just about knowing how to market, like we were talking about before we came on, content creating and knowing the times of day to post and the hashtags and all this stuff. You are forced to kind of get you had to learn that stuff because even though you're doing it online, you still got to get people to watch.
That part.
That part, right? How do I? And there was like, how many followers? And then for you people that's out there buying followers, that don't work. You got to have real people watching. You know what I'm saying? People, real humans, real followers. These bots, yeah, it's not gonna get you no views because bots, I don't think they click view or play. So you said you were working on your own upcoming production.
Yeah.
And is that like an album with you just doing your drumming thing? Is it just you, or are you gonna have some other artists on there? How's that? Well, I know you said EDM.
Yeah, it'll be me.
Okay.
First. I have to start with myself.
Okay, I ain't mad. That's right. She said it's
before
about
I
me.
get into, and I've already like put something out, but then I don't have it out on any platforms right now because I want to revamp and do it in a different way.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. And see, playing instruments, how does that work? I mean, is it easier, you think, for you to get signed or
no, it's actually not. I don't have any endorsements, and I mean, there's like cymbal companies, there's in-ear companies that you can go to, there's drum companies that provide drums, but even endorsements they're a different type of endorsement.
Okay.
Because they used to have like certain deals where they're like sponsoring every single thing and you're not paying anything.
Right.
But now there's different tiers. So you are paying something for it. Cymbals, your drums, whatever, So there's certain percentages that you will have to like put in. But I mean, with anything and like in anything, you have to put into.
You have to invest.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to invest in yourself, right?
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the light of it and the good side of it that I like is I get to use different drums when I'm out and different cymbals, and just, find this right sound for me, if that makes sense. Because as a drummer,
nice.
You have to have your own sound as well.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Because, in our mind, we just drum is drum. Boom, 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 boom. No, there's like you said, there's a rhythm, a pattern. For example, Sheila E. She has a distinctive sound.
Correct.
So you got to try to put yourself out there and market yourself so you stand out. That's got to be tough as a drummer, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So,
yeah.
I mean, some of I just posted something about my biggest influences that have kind of shaped my sound as far as like playing drums. And I don't mean like I sit there and just like pick their brain, like, what did you do? Like, no, this is like way before I got to this level. I would like watch their DVDs or watch their older performances on YouTube and just kind of like just study them just as a drummer.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you study your favorite rapper or MC.
Yes.
You kind of just study like, the vibe, the energy. And a lot of it, Sheila E. I am inspired by her as well. But I watched the mannerism, the energy, how they, command the stage, because the drummer, even though they're the back
in the background,
of the band, they control a lot of the energy, and the vibe of the band. I mean, you got to connect with the singer. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that matters when you are hearing a band. You're not hearing really the instruments. For the crowd, they're hearing the drummer. You're
right. You're right. Because we want that 808. We want that boom, boom. Especially we from LA. You want to hear that.
Hear the drummer get wicked.
Okay.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. So, just having the right parts to facilitate what sound you want to put in the atmosphere is very, very key for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way you said that, that's true. The drummer, I forgot how they say it, but the drummer is like runs the band. Everybody goes off of what the drummer does.
Timing, the rhythm.
The everything. But like I said, you're back here and people's like not really can see you in the forefront, but we definitely hear you. Okay.
Right.
I think that's probably why Sheila E. had like, crazy funky hairstyles and different like, flash and flare about you. Like you said, you still want to have an attitude, so you don't just think I'm just a boring drummer back here. I have personality. I have spunk, because you're not using your voice, right? You're not the one standing up singing or rapping or whatever the case may be. So I'm glad you put that out there, because you have to find your lane and still be seen and not just heard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. When it comes time, I think, to show up in the capacity to, be the spotlight, then that will also present itself as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, if I'm playing in a band, I don't mind being the backseat.
Right.
Because that's what I'm hired to do.
Right. And that's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And the fact is, I mean, how do you said auditions, how do you go about finding? Is it like word of mouth? People just kind of tell you like, hey, such and such is looking for a drummer, or this and that is going on tour. How does that really work?
Like you said.
Okay.
It's both. Like sometimes, people hit me up, DMs, or sometimes I do receive emails, such and such is looking for a drummer or whatever.
Okay.
But more so it is just, and I say this to say, like, you really got to know like your niche and what path you're on with your gift and talent, because I need to do better. I really do.
That's okay.
I don't post a lot, but it's just the path that I'm on now. You got to stay in alignment with what you're called to do, if that makes sense.
No, I understand.
And there's a flow when you are in that state.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff, it comes to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it I'm not reaching or looking, or
people come hit you up. Say it, girl. Say it. She said, I don't have to apply, baby. They call me. No, that is no, but no, I get what you're saying. When you put out this great energy, you have such positive, like you said, you treat your good to people, and it comes to you, like I said, it's alignment. And we were talking about church, everybody doesn't believe, but I'm a believer. So
I'm a believer too.
Right. So,
yes,
God has a way of putting you where you need to be, when you need to be.
Say that.
Right away.
Yes.
No, it is, because I'm telling you, it's been happening for me for the past couple weeks, and it's just happening so fast. When he gets you rolling, it's going, and you can't even believe it. You're like, God, I've been waiting for this, and to the point where I have to shut my mouth and don't complain because you asked for this.
Right.
Now I'm like, I'm too busy. Don't call me. I don't want to do please don't invite me to nothing else. I just want to sleep in this weekend. But really, it's a real blessing. Like when he puts you in a like right place, I've been meeting the like right people. Everything is aligning for me, like in my life as a whole right now. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, because I've been working and praying for it for so long, and it's in his timing, right? It's not in ours. So I'm blessed, and I know you are too.
Yeah, God is amazing. Shout out to God.
Shout out to God. Now, how has your love for music shaped your life?
In many, many ways. My love for music has actually taken me, around the world. And there's bits and pieces. I know I'm jumping back and forth between timelines, but I mean, even to the point, like when I first started traveling, the travel came from touring with Carnival Cruise Line. So I was in a band on Carnival cruise ships. You know what I'm saying?
I love Carnival cruises.
Right. They're like a party, like ship.
Girl, they know me. I am the karaoke queen on the Carnival cruise ships. Okay. Ask about me. Shut up. He knows. We were on a cruise right after our first year of marriage. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and we went to Ensenada. So we did the 4-day cruise where you go into Catalina.
Got you.
And that was my first experience. I was like, this is amazing. Every night I was I literally signed up for like 10 songs. He was like, how many times did you sign up, dog? Like, are you serious?
They're like, Dani.
Yes. And each one. And next, Dani. I'm like, everybody else is scared. And I found a love for karaoke on Carnival cruises. That if you've never been on a Carnival cruise, I mean, I'm not dissing any other lines. I've heard of other lines. Some of them are a little bit, age appropriate for some older. They're a little bit more chill, but Carnival is going to turn you all the way up if you want an experience.
All the way
because I did that one, and then I did the Bahamas like 2 years later. I did that one, flew out of Miami. That's a good one too.
Yes.
We actually met a DJ Herc.
Okay.
We met him on one of the Carnival cruises. He played some of Yogi's songs.
Wow.
This guy got up on stage. They let him perform. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
And I didn't have no service. So of course I don't have any footage of that.
You got the memory though.
I got the memory. And sometimes, like you said about the I don't post much. I mean, I feel like because you're living in the moment,
Yeah.
sometimes we don't have time to stop. Like me and my sister the other day, I was like, you didn't take no pictures of the baby playing at Top Golf. She was like, I didn't really think of my phone. We were having a good time. And lately that's been happening too. I'm like, oh, I don't have no footage because this whole social media internet world makes you feel like you have to like let them in on every aspect of your life. But when you're holding your phone and trying to take pictures everywhere, you're not really enjoying your time, right? And I'm learning that, you know, hey, I have the memory and I didn't, you know, hold my phone all the time, but I might have missed this if I was messing around with my phone trying to get on live and Instagram and show everybody else when I should just be enjoying it, you know? So that's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah. There's sometimes we are super like engaged with the whole technology world inside, so that, you know, like just the simple things we don't even realize, like sun and the water and the ocean, things
right?
like
the
that.
Elements, okay? We take for granted. These kids don't go outside no more, girl. Now I will say it's not as safe, you know, than when we were. But you know, kids don't ride bikes, they don't pogo stick, hula hoop, they you know, the outside activity. I remember the last day of school was the business because you were running out because it was like summertime. We having water fights and running up and down the street and stopping the ice cream truck all day. It's like it's a new age, and I'm sad for the generation that they don't have that, right?
They don't have that experience.
They don't have that experience. Everything is, you know, internet based or, you know, some type of technology. I even tell my husband, because sometimes I found we both laying in the bed next to each other. He on his phone scrolling. I'm like, bro, get rid of these phones. To put your phone down. He was like, you were on yours. I'm like, well, let's watch TV. Let's talk. Let's something, you know, because you find yourself, you can get lost in it, you know. And like you said, we have beautiful oceans. We're in California with this beautiful weather. Let's go outside. We got beaches. Put your skates on. Something, you know.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So I think we have come. Time flies when you're having fun, you guys.
Hey.
And this was amazing to talk to you. Now, every show I do a segment called Dani Sees. And one of my topics today that I decided to think about, I wanted to, because, you know, it's love life lessons. I wanted to switch it up a little bit. And I wanted to open up the phone line so that people can talk to you, ask you questions, if they want to ask you anything. But before I do that, I want to say, now you did say you had a project, but you haven't had it out. Is there anywhere where we can find your music? Or
not at the moment. But
okay,
I'm gonna re-release.
She's gonna re-release. We got her Instagram. You guys see it on the screen. That's at Tiffani Worldwide. We patiently waiting because she's gonna pop out on y'all with some stuff. Okay. We were just talking about that before we went online. Like, we're trying to find a way to get our stuff out of there, but we need our own platforms. We can't be making all these other people money, right?
No, that's right.
Okay. Sorry, shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
So the topic that I want to bring up in Dani C's segment is, can men and women have a platonic relationship? And I'm glad I asked this because you, like I said, being in a male dominant field, yes, you mentioned you work with Beyonce, which is dope that you have some female artists that you've been working with, but you also said, well, Butter and
Biscuit and Butter.
Are they men?
Yes.
Okay. See,
one is married and one is not married.
Okay. So how do you believe that men and women can have platonic relationships?
No.
No?
I think you can have business relationships.
Okay. Say that.
But we're like friends where you go hang out with your homeboy and things like that. I mean, if they're married, no, I don't.
And I was going to ask that. Does it matter if they're single or not? Like, if he's a single, but then him being single will open up the window to be like, okay, well, I don't have to be platonic with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or put in an uncomfortable situation where you are hit on by a guy that you thought was your friend.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I've actually experienced like men liking me in bands. So for me, it makes me uncomfortable. Okay. So I just choose just to like do my job and that's it. Because when it's that type of energy in a setting, I don't feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just rather let's be business partners and let's get this bread and
let's do
go
this.
home, you know. But you know, when you are on tours and it's a mixed team and you know you have men and women, then yeah, you're gonna hang with people that are there in that atmosphere.
Right.
But other than that, no, there's no need for me to hang with you.
Yeah.
And I'm only speaking from the music side.
Okay. Is it because you're not single, or this is just how you roll? Oh, she like, you put my business out. No, because for me, I'm not single, right? And before I got with my husband, I really had really close male friends, right? Okay. And you grow up, and I'm not saying that any of my male friends have hit on me. Some of them caught the vapors. Some of y'all, used to talk about me, but now I see you peeping and I'm speaking. But at the end of the day, I realized that in order to respect my husband and the situation, I can't just do that anymore. I can't just be sitting up with guys that are single and just hanging out and sitting on the phone with you guys and things of that nature. Now, if we're friends, all of us are friends. That's the thing, that's okay. We got a caller. Looks like we got a caller calling in. Oh my goodness. I didn't even say the number yet. 747-888-0677 is the number for anybody else that wants to call in. Caller, can you hear me? Hello? Caller? Okay. I guess the caller will give us a call back. But I guess they were either going to call and talk to Tiffani, call us back, or you want to say something about the platonic relationship. I believe it can be done. Now, if you're single, it's a little bit more easy, right?
It is.
Because then you don't have any other partner that has to feel slighted or feel like anything is going on. But first of all, no relationship can last without trust. And my husband trusts me and I trust him. However, there's just boundaries, right? There's certain things that I just can't do anymore. I mean, I miss some of my guy friends. Caller, got another caller in here. Caller, can you hear me?
Hey, caller.
Hello? Caller? Okay. I don't know what's going on. Caller, give us a call back. We couldn't hear you. But yeah, I believe it's boundaries in how you handle things. Like I said, if I was able to introduce one of my guy friends to my husband, and it probably would work better if they had somebody too, and then we can double date, and that'll be all good, or do couples nights and things of that nature. But when you're in a relationship, like I said, and that person's single, it just gets sticky, But I don't want to say that they can't, because I believe that people should be able to have self-control. Like everything shouldn't be about sex or hitting on each other, because personally, I'm not attracted to my male friends, right? Now they may feel attraction to me, but I don't, if you're my friend, I don't see you in that way.
Right.
So I'm not viewing you like that. Exactly. So it should be, easy for us to just be friends and talk and shoot the shit. But right now, being married, like I said, I don't really talk to some of my guy friends like I used to. We say hey on Facebook, they tease me, I tease back, but it's all respectful.
Correct.
And it's bottom line, just being respectful and being open and transparent with your partner, so they don't ever have to question what's going on.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And I think that's what it is. Because I hate when people say, oh, men and women can, because somebody's sleeping around. No, not always the case, because I have male friends, even though we like I said, there's boundaries. I don't hang out with them. It's just me and him, and my husband's not around, and vice versa. Because I have male friends that have wives, and our relationships have changed because I have to respect his wife, and vice versa. So I think it can, but with boundaries. That would be my answer, with boundaries.
And that's funny that you mentioned that, because I do work with a lot of musicians that are married. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes I'm put in a position to where I'm like the band leader, you know what I'm saying? So I have to be respectful of what time I'm emailing them, what time I'm texting them.
Oh yeah, I didn't
how
think of that.
I'm texting them.
Right.
I like to do group text because it just makes the communication easy. It's like boom. It's
I'm not just. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the time. Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, wife, like, why is she texting you at midnight? Like, I just got the information and something has changed, because sometimes you could have last minute changes.
This is very true.
Yeah,
this is very true. Especially with the music industry, things change and come quick, fast, because the artist may say, I don't want that, or, you know.
Yeah,
like,
change something. And then you're like, well, hold on, I need a little bit more clarification on what you want from me before tomorrow. And then the thing about it is, I mean, I'm sure you do day shows, but it's a nightlife type thing, right?
Yeah.
Most shows are in the night. So different things happen in the night, different moods happen,
This
you
is
know. It's, you know, alcohol in the atmosphere, club atmosphere. It could be a lot of different things. And like I said, it just boils down to the trust in that relationship. Have you ever been like approached by a wife or had a wife mad at you or something? Well, that's good.
No,
that's great.
Because I again, I'm very business when it comes to, you know, my dealings with band members and, you know, talking and working with people. I just, you know, it's very black and white,
right?
You know, so I don't make it other than, and then when I'm dealing with men, I have to be very like just short.
Yeah,
you can't
hurt. Just straight to the point.
It's not like, you know, women, we do a lot of talking and, you know, a whole bunch, but with men, it's just very like, here's the time, date, music, and that's it, you know.
Yeah, and see, that's respect. That's respect, and that's just what it is.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you haven't had to run into that is great, because I know some
God
people.
is amazing. Thank you, God.
Yeah, amen. Because I, you know, and it's funny because me and Yo, we go out, we do different shows, and you know, we're not like holding hands and kissing all the time. I like literally had this happen not too long ago, where, you know, they think he's just my cameraman. So guys will be like flirting and not know that that's my husband and we're in partnership and, you know, certain stuff, and they making little comments. And I'm like, I keep it professional because I don't have to run around and say, I'm married, because there's no insecurity there. But there, like I said, there are boundaries. And without saying too much, but this one here, he's normally real chill. Okay. And this particular person went a little overboard. Oh, yeah. So he came behind the camera and was like, that's me, dog. I couldn't even believe he did it. I was like, okay, but I felt him because he's just like, I feel like it's gonna lean towards, and if I could just stop this now.
That's what you want. You want a partner that is like
gonna protect
set
me,
the tone, you know, for you, to make your job easier. So that's a good thing.
But in hip hop, it's so funny because, you know, we grew up in a time where it's like, you know, like you didn't know Method Man was married all those years because it was quiet, you know, and he's a sex symbol and the ladies are crazy about him, and the label pushes that, right? They used to say like, oh, don't take your ring off. Don't say that. You know what I mean? Because all the ladies like you and we don't want you to lose your fans. So I always had that in the back of my mind. So when he would be on stage, I've had women jump up on stage. I've had them try to pull him down, all this little stuff. And I was like, ooh, Lord, please, I don't want to go to jail tonight. I do not want to go to jail tonight, but I keep my composure because see, people will flip it on you and say, oh, he got a jealous wife, and you know what I mean, and they tripping out, and it's like, no, it's just boundaries, and that was disrespectful. And yes, that's my husband, that's my man. We didn't come in kissing, but that's my man.
I have to give an example. My parents, they have been married for almost 50 years.
Oh my gosh, shout out to that. Shout out to that black love. Come on.
Absolutely. So the fact that I've seen their love flourish, and my mom, sometimes she works in the church ministry a lot. So she's, you know, in the forefront a lot. And then my dad is kind of like in the background, you know, so I see, like you said, that I don't see them holding hands every time they're out, you know, but you know, it's just the level of respect for one another. And then also you said boundaries, which makes, you know, their situation work for them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So every couple is going to be different. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And my dad, my mom, I don't see them giving any reasons for them to not trust each other.
Exactly. So especially there in the church, even though that don't mean nothing, man. Come on, say that. I ain't trying to diss, but you know, some men. Oh my God! Right, some men and women in church, they still are of the flesh. We all are, right? So, I've heard stories, you know, and you're like, that's going on in church. Oh, the deacon was messing with the this and that. So your dad plays in the church as well. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
He still does. Yes,
oh, that's amazing. That's right. Shout out to mom and pops. You guys have made a star over here, and that's why you're so you're so respectful. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
When you come from that, and that's probably why you like, yeah, you don't get to diss me, you know, because I'm pretty. You're the reason why I asked that question. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So when people, you know, probably see you, they'll think, oh, I guess a girl drummer. They probably think, oh, she look like Igor. Then they see, wait, that's your drummer. Wait a minute, I'm coming to every show from now on, Trayvon.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why
I said like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, I know who I am as who I am, Tiffani, as a woman, you know, and as my purpose. So I don't even like to. There's a term, and I'm trying not to curse.
No, go ahead. But we free up in here. I'm being nice because you being nice. I said shit, and I was like, wait, okay. I know my cousin gonna laugh at me and say,
but basically, again, I don't shit where I eat.
Right? Okay. So, hello, how you doing?
You don't mix the business. You know what I'm saying? And I think, I mean, if you want longevity,
yes,
and this type of field, you really got to watch that. You know,
yeah. And I'm glad you said that because, like I said, some people, you know, sleep with the band and do all this stuff, and it's, you know, because, you know, of the lifestyle, and they assume, right? And you're like, no, there's no assumption. You make it real clear, like, I don't get down, and you have to hold those boundaries because people get loose and reckless, and that's fine for you, but that's not what I do. No. Right. this guy right here. It gets on my nerves. So I had a caller 747-888-0677 if you want to talk to my girl Tiffani, or if you want to talk about, you know, can women and men have platonic relationships? If you had a situation where you thought something was platonic and they took it to another level and you had to shut them down, like, hey, I thought we were friends, you're trying to be something else, and that's not what I'm here for. It happens more often than none, I'm sure. I feel like for me, I miss my friends, you know, I miss my homies, and I'm like, dang, would y'all just go get a wife or a girlfriend or something so we can all hang out? It's never going to work unless you do. But at the same time, you just grow, right? You grow up, and this is my best friend. Yogi is my absolute best friend. We do everything together. You said your parents have been married.
Call from
the perfect Yogi.
Oh, okay.
Press 1.
Okay, Perfect Yoni. You called and then hung up. Give us a call back, Perfect Yoni. 747-888-0677. The Perfect Yoni, we lost you.
Call back.
Call back. We got a few minutes. We got 5 minutes before we're going to be shutting this thing down. But yeah, so I always ask. Okay. All right. Caller, can you hear me? Hello?
Caller, are you there?
Caller, are you there? Hello?
Call from
The perfect.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Perfect Yanni. This is Dani C's Love Life Lessons.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hi, Tiffani Worldwide.
Hi. How are you?
I would just say I'm well.
That's good.
Did you have a question or you want to talk about the topic?
Yeah, that's what I called. So I had two things. The first one was you said that you had to stay aligned to your path as far as like what do you play? The drums? I'm sorry.
Yes, I play the drums.
How long have you been playing the drums?
I've been playing the drums for over 15 years now.
And you stuck with just that for the entire 15 years, or did you do other things?
Yes, I stuck with drums and percussions and music production.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's how you're able to like stay aligned. I'm a young team practitioner, and I feel like I have to just stay in my lane for it to go big too.
Correct.
I felt that.
Okay. Yes.
Don't give up. Never give up.
Too, yeah, no, not at all. And then too, just the thing with platonic relationships. I think you can have relationships with the opposite sex if y'all just have a really genuine relationship. I think you guys have to have known each other since you guys were kids.
Okay. Well, I mean, but still, you can have a crush. They can have a crush on you from kids and you just don't know about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, after like, you know, if they're your friend, you know if they like you and they don't.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
have
true.
real conversations. Y'all talk about y'all relationships. They tell you about the women they date. You tell them about the guys they date. You guys really give each other insight and good advice.
Yes. No, you're right about that. And you're right. That's why I said if you guys have boundaries and you set them, and you haven't crossed that, and then it also, are you, just to speak on that, we also talked about attraction. Are you attracted to any of your platonic relationships?
Nah, girl. That's why they my friends.
Exactly. So that helps that you're not attracted to them and you guys can keep that too. I mean, I know it sounds messed up, but if you're attracted to one another, there's going to leave room for error there.
Mhm.
So
I think it's hard to be attracted to somebody you really, really know, though, in a sense. You know what I mean?
I really,
Like
really
as a
know you. Oh,
kid,
yeah, and
like
I'm attracted to. Oh, you mean as a kid? Like I remember you ate boogers. I don't like you. That type of thing.
yeah,
A
like you
few
know,
moments later.
it just depends on the relationship. Cause I have both guy friends and girlfriends, but personally, I prefer my guy friends.
Yeah. Well, you know, because women.
But when I date, I do introduce them to my partners. Like the last relationship, they still be friends. It's like I could not talk to them for a long time, but the exes and my guy friends, they'll be friends for like years. It'd be crazy to me.
Wait a minute.
But that's how you know it's genuine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you so much
So
for
that's
your
all I wanted to
feedback.
say.
Thank you for
Yeah.
calling
Thank you for
in.
having me, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.
Now that was good feedback, and
Right.
and that's my little sister.
Okay, got you.
And so I do know that she has. That's why I say I know that you can have platonic relationships because she has good friends and they do have that exchange. But there's, like I said, she's not attracted. They have boundaries, and the key point, she says she introduced them to her mate when she was with them, and they have continued a relationship outside of that. So they know it's no funny business, right? So I think we have come to the part where I always ask my guests at the end, you know, to drop a jewel on us. The title of the show is Dani C's Love Life Lessons, and just give us something about any one of those things that you want to bless the people with.
What do I want to say? Well, I just believe that we are on different plane right now, and the key to this life on this earth is to really, really love who you are, love everything about you, what makes you. There's no one else like Dani. There's no one else like me, Tiffani. Yes. So you really, really have to love who you are. And mental health is real. So regardless of I did X, Y, and Z, if my mental and my faculties and the way I think, if that's not together, I won't be able to make it in this life, you know, because my mind is distorted, and the way I view and see things will stop my progression.
Absolutely.
So you really have to, you know, do some self-reflection, evaluation. Things happen, things that have happened to me, you know, but you have to move past and get over the hurdles. Seek therapy, counseling, your church, your pastor, whoever you feel like you can confide in and talk to move forward and just create beautiful memories with people that are aligned to your path.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, stay on the positive path. And I think things will work out once you figure out your purpose.
Amen to that. Well, that was very well said. You know, this is a perfect season finale. Positive, love, light, and that's all I'm trying to have in my life at this time. So I am so glad that we were able to close out on this positive, great note. Thank you guys for tuning in to Dani C's Love Life Lessons, where your presence was a blessing. And we'll see you next season.